Here's a game I've been waiting for quite a while. Twilight Struggle, Red Sea, Conflict in the Horn of Africa. And we're going to rebox it here today on Legendary Tactics. As viewers of the channel know, Twilight Struggle is one of my favorite games of all time, so I'm so excited to try Red Sea, Conflict in the Horn of Africa, which is a mini version of Twilight Struggle. And you can see here's the components all in one big mess. We're going to show you how to rebox it here. First, I like to put the counters back in the frame. It makes it very easy to store in the box, and just need to fit everything back into their designated spots. The game itself is very similar to Twilight Struggle. There are a few new counters. The game itself plays over 2 rounds only, and that's the entire game. But let's take a look at the cards. The cards are, of course, the heart and soul of the game, and there's a lot of new events here. Some cards look a little bit familiar, like the scoring cards. There's also the Voice of America image here that's reused. But other than that, it looks like it's there's some interesting looking events there. And I always recommend storing the cards in the shrink wrap. It always keeps the dust away, which is very good for keeping your game fresh. There's the dice. We'll store those and then back in the little baggie. And then we've got the box there. So I'm just going to show you how I put everything back in the box when I'm done a game. So everything about this game is kind of familiar. You can see the space race track, the victory point track, the DEF CON track, action round track. There's a lot of the aesthetics which are the same as Twilight Struggle. So from that perspective, I think it's very familiar and relatively easy to pick up for people who have played the original game. And the other exciting thing about this is that it does come with a solo mode, and that is really exciting for me. I think it'd be really neat to play Twilight Struggle solo. I've played the AI and the digital version, and it's maybe not the best, but I've got high hopes for this one. And there are a few player aids there for solo play, and then also for regular play. There's a fair amount of text. It's a little bit text heavy, but that is the nature of games like this and games from GMT. But the components are all good. The solo rules there, you can see, don't take up the whole book. It's just a portion of the book there, and I imagine I haven't played it yet, but I imagine the solo bot will be quite easy to play. The rules look like there's a lot of text here. It's not actually that many pages, but again, I think if you're familiar with the original, these rules can be more or less skimmed through, just essentially looking for what's new and different, and that's everything inside the box. So there's not a ton of components, but I guess if you're making a game that's supposed to be played in half an hour or so, it's perfect for that. And this is part of GMT's Lunchtime Series, which has games that are playable in 20 to 30 minutes. And so I think that is a really interesting concept, and I really like it both for the games themselves, but also for the potential to introduce games like these to people who otherwise would be intimidated to try them. So we've got the game back in the shrink wrap now. I think it looks very sharp. We're going to put it back in the box among the packing peanuts, and maybe among another couple of GMT games we might be featuring later. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this reboxing here today on Legendary Tactics.